Does this angle work? Mary? Hello everyone, my name is Laura or King Dickens. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a book haul, or part one of a book haul, an October-November book haul. How many times can I say book haul? I had to change location, aka I just moved from there to here, because it's extremely dark at the minute. I'm filming at around maybe 4:30 in the day, which is the time that I usually film my videos, but it's starting to get darker and darker. Winter is coming, y'all. I just should have filmed earlier is what I'm trying to say, and I didn't because I was in my pajamas. Okay, so I'm going to start off with YA, which is something I said in a few videos ago. I don't read anymore. Am I evolving? I think so. I'm going to start off with my current read, which is Nonshallsleep by Ellie Marney. This is a YA 80s horror thriller murder story. It is following a young woman called Emma. One day she is running on the tracks in Quantico, Virginia in 1982, and she is approached by a man who says that he is part of the FBI. His name's Cooper, and he wants her to help him interview teenage serial killers. And the reason that he has come to her for this and not recruited someone else in the FBI is because she has had experience with serial killers. She has had contact with serial killers and she escaped. She's not up for it, but she really wants to help prevent any further teenage murders. And so she decides to help him, and they build a little team, her and Travis, a young man from the South, who is also involved or has also had dealings with teenage serial killers. And so those two and Cooper come together, form a unit in order to find out as much information as possible about the way that minds of serial killers work, so that they can try and prevent further killings from happening. I'm not going to go into how I feel about it because, like I said, it is a current read, but I'm just over halfway. I'm on page 200 of 382, I believe. I did want to read this today, but it is now almost 5 o'clock and I haven't read one page. So what does Charles Dickens say? Procrastination is the thief of time. So the next book that I got was You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This cover is just so cute. You Should See Me in a Crown is about a young girl called Liz. She is dying to get out of her small town and start somewhere else in college. And you decided to drill when I started talking, Liz is dying to move out of where she currently lives, her small town, and start somewhere else in a new college and start over her life. But there is one problem. She can't afford to just pick up her life, start over, move somewhere else, and go to college. She can't afford it. When she finds out that if she enters to become prom queen and she wins, she will win a scholarship. And so even though she absolutely hates attention on her and she's extremely socially awkward and this is just her worst nightmare, she knows that she needs to do this in order to get what she wants, in order to further her education. This is something that she needs to do. Liz eventually becomes friends with a girl called Max. She's the new girl in school. They become very close. They're inseparable until they realize that they're both running for prom queen. I picked up this next one, A, because the cover just pulled me in, B, because everybody has been hyping this up so much on Bookstagram and on Goodreads and here on BookTube. The book is Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. I have been seeing this book everywhere. We are following a main character called Felix Love. Such a cute name. Hi, Felix. And he wants nothing more in his life than to find love. That is his main problem at the minute, until he starts to receive transphobic messages from someone in school. I think they're anonymous messages. An anonymous student begins sending him transphobic messages after publicly posting Felix's dead name alongside images of him before he transitioned. Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. What he didn't count on, his catfish scenario landing him in a quasi-love triangle. I feel like this book is going to give me everything that I want, like self-discovery and self-love and first love. I'd love to read this month. I'd actually really love to read this after I finish Nonshallsleep. But whenever I say I really want to read that this month, I jinx myself and I don't read it for like another 6 years. So Mary, we'll see. I've never read a book by this author before, but I have heard of him since I was a little kid. I feel like we all have. The book is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I have watched the film adaptation for Stardust, I would say every Christmas for maybe the past 3 or 4 years. Just me and Mom have gotten into the habit of watching it every year, so I kind of know the story. This book is following a young man called Tristan, and he is hopelessly devoted to a young woman called Victoria who is not interested in him. She does not give him the time of day. One night they're having a conversation and they see a star fall from the sky, and she says, "Tristan, if you go and you fetch me that star that we just saw fall from the sky, I will give you a chance. So because he's so in love with her, he sees this as a challenge that he is willing to face. And so he sets out on a journey through unexplored lands in order to find the star that they saw fall from the sky. Stardust is one of my favorite films. Like I said, I watch it every year, and I just can't wait to read the source material. When I was in college in 2016, for whatever reason, I became obsessed with the American presidential election. And for some reason recently, I've become really interested in Hillary Clinton, a person I wasn't really behind in 2016, but for some reason this year I really am, and I really like listening to her. I bought What Happened by Hillary Clinton because all of a sudden I have found a love for her that I never knew existed. I've become extremely interested in hearing what she has to say, and What Happened is basically her thoughts on what happened during the 2016 election when she lost to Donald Trump. It's just her take on the whole thing, how she felt about it, how she feels about it now, and what she wants to see for America in the future. I watched the Hulu documentary on her called Hillary. It's a 4-part documentary. I really highly recommend you watch it if you're interested in her or just the election from 2016. It was said to her, and it's said to her in a couple of other interviews as well, that people find her very reserved and feel like she's kind of holding back a bit and not saying what she really wants to say. So I wanted to pick this up and see what she really thinks. So I also decided to get a book on her, and it's a fiction book. And it's called Rodham, and it's by Curtis Sittenfeld. What I know from this, or what I kind of gather from this, is that it is asking the question, where would Hillary be now, or what would Hillary have done with her life if she had not married Bill Clinton? I'm interested to see how her life may have turned out in a, you know, hypothetical world, in a dream world, if she hadn't gone down the path that she chose to go down with Bill Clinton. I'm really excited and also very nervous to read this next one. It has spectacular reviews ever since it came out. It is a memoir, and it is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I'm sure you have all heard of the story from 2016 when a young man called Brock Turner was sentenced to only 6 months in jail for sexually assaulting Chanel Miller. It was an extremely light sentencing. It took the world by storm. I remember seeing it on Twitter and feeling sick to my stomach, the fact that he committed such a disgusting crime and practically got away with it scot-free. It's one that's really high on my TBR ever since I got it a few weeks ago. I just feel like her words need to be heard, and yeah, I hope to get to it really soon. Okay, so the next book is a more lighthearted book. I believe it's a new adult romance, and that's all I know. And mama, that's all I want to know. I want to go into this completely blind. I'd like to read this soon enough because I kind of feel myself slipping into a reading slump, and I find that books like this are a bit more lighthearted and fun to read, are a great way to get me, anyway, back into reading, back into the routine of reading consistently. The book is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I see that there's a Sarah J. Maas blurb on the front. I don't know how that makes me feel because I don't like her romance. I don't like the way she writes her relationships and steamy scenes. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of unnerves me. I didn't notice that before, but I like Sarah J. Maas, but that scares me a little bit. I was actually going to show you a couple of more books, but I'm going to save them for part 2 because I have quite a few books on the way to me. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see me talk about books again in the future, please hit that subscribe button, but you don't have to. It's all G, we see each other. That was disgusting. Okay, yeah, bye, ye children of the corn.